Are we ready? Yes. But thank you very much for being here. Thank you for supporting the Solid Waste District here. We appreciate it very much. This, of course, is a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the South Utah Valley Solid Waste District. We go by SUV, SWC, V, W. It's been a busy day. We did call this the Dry Creek Transfer Station because right along their side of the fence is Dry Creek, so that's how we got the name. This is the Dry Creek Transfer Station. This has been over 10 years in the planning, design, and construction, and finally it's brought us to this point. This is a highly anticipated occasion, not just for us, but for everybody involved, which is many cities. It's no secret that the old facility is greatly outdated. It's undersized, and we want to get rid of it. To open our ceremony, the Spanish Fork American Legion, to my left, to your right, is over by the flagpole. And they are going to raise the flag for the very first time on the flagpole. Once raised, our beautiful Gloria Thomas from Orem, Gloria Thomas from Orem, will sing our national anthem. She's been singing publicly since she was 8 years old. She is currently serving as Miss Nebo, and she has many other notable achievements. At the conclusion of the national anthem, Mark Lovelace, Operations Manager for the district, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. As a reminder, it's proper for you to place your hand over your heart when the Sergeant of Arms calls Post 68 to attention. So I'll turn it over to the Spanish Fork American Legion.
Honor Guard, attention. Present arms. Color Guard, prepare to raise the colors. Will the audience please stand? Bugler. Order, arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color guard dismissed.
Thank you very much. It's a special occasion. It's always nice to start off with our flag. As we think about our country, its history, and our patriots, our military veterans, and our armed services, and all those that keep us safe. That's kind of what our flag represents a lot. It's with extreme pleasure that I welcome each of and every one of you here today to this special ribbon cutting ceremony for the Dry Creek Transfer Station. We have many mayors, members of city councils, along with many other special guests, and we greatly appreciate them being here and for their public service and for the contribution which they have made to this facility. It's very much appreciated. We also have members of the media here, and we are grateful that they are covering this occasion. The South Utah Valley Solid Waste District is a government district. I think it's important to point out that it is a fee-only district, meaning that we do not receive any tax dollars. Everything that supports this facility crosses the scale and is paid for as you enter. We also are governed by a 7-member board of directors, each one representing their respective city. I'd like to introduce to you the current board members. They're sitting with me here on the stand. George Hadley from Provo. Logan Millsap from Springville. Shane Marshall from Spanish Fork. Cynthia Reese from Salem. Ben Hilliard, Woodland Hills. And Stephen Staley from Goshen. Not sure that he's able to be here with us. But Goshen's still an important part of our task. All cities are important. Everybody has one vote on the board. We appreciate the board. It's the board that helped make this all possible, and the respective cities. And we greatly appreciate everybody's support. And as I said earlier, this new facility has been needed and planned for over 10 years. The old facility was opened in 1990 as a state-of-the-art facility for Utah. It was the first of its kind. Does it look like it now? No. If you haven't been there, it's okay. Anyway, it was built originally to handle 300 ton per day. Many years ago, it was upgraded to handle 700 ton per day. Today, we're doing over 1,200 ton per day, and it shows. It's just greatly undersized. So we appreciate having this nice new facility, which we're going to try and start filling tomorrow. And I pointed out that we had a groundbreaking ceremony here. It was about 2 years ago. When I say about, we're 3 days shy of 2 years. So we built this facility in less than 2 years, which I think is an amazing achievement. So let's give a round of applause for everybody involved. Of the 220,000 residents in the district, there's one key pivotal person who has really made all of this possible. This gentleman has served the Solid Waste District Board for many years. Then he took over as general manager for over 10 years. Terry Ficklin is his name. Many of you know him and appreciate him. I very much appreciate him. He will be our first speaker. And then he will be followed by Nick Patterson. He's also been here for about 10 years. He is kind of like our district engineer. Should I say it that way? Yeah, he's kind of our district engineer. That's what I would say. So he knows a lot about this place. Kyle Hughes, he's new to the group. He hasn't been here for 10 years, but Hughes Construction built the first one. And I think that it's an honor for them to build the second one. And they did a very good job. As you can see, it's a lovely facility. So I've asked Kyle to say a few words relative to the construction of the facility. Anybody know Brandon Gordon? He's been on the district for many years. He's also was our past chairman. He's now currently serving as our county commissioner. We so appreciate his support. He's one of the key pivotal people that has made this happen. So we'll then hear from Brandon Gordon. And then officially, to kind of end the ceremony, we're going to see if Mike Mendenhall, Spanish Fork's mayor, will accept this facility. So we'll have to wait to see what he says.
No pressure.
No pressure. Have you made the decision yet? We'll see what he says anyway. So I'll turn the time over to Terry for a minute, and then we'll just proceed, and then I'll get up and we'll conclude and start for the ribbon cutting.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's actually a great honor for me to see all of you here, and especially all of the mayors and the city councils and so many people that have been influencing the decisions that we've made over the past 10 years. This has been a 10-year project for us. It started in its infancy, very small, and it's expanded and expanded as we analyzed even the future growth of the county and the member cities. It was obvious to us that we had to think much bigger. And so I am grateful for the support of the board members. I'm grateful for the cities that have been there for us to give us assistance in all that they do. I wanted to take a minute and kind of explain some of the things you see on the building. Reed had indicated that the building is called the Dry Creek Transfer Station. We consider that the physical location of this building. We are still South Utah Valley Solid Waste District and always will be. The Nexa that you see up on here is what I'd like to take a few minutes and talk about. I'm not going to do too much of it because I want to keep you intrigued so you'll come back and visit us, okay? Nexa represents a branding that we did and finished a little over a year ago about a new approach for us. We felt it was important for us to look towards the future. Nexa represents the next generation of waste solutions for us. And with that, it allows us to then look at different areas. The arrows that all point, making the X, those are the 4 pillars that we identified in our branding. Those pillars represent the different aspects about customer service and efficiency, caring about the environment, also about community awareness. So the education room, if you've not seen it yet, was a key aspect for us. We want it to be available for students and for residents to come so that all of you know, as soon as we open, hopefully tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, the doors will be open, and our viewing area upstairs is open to the public on the hours that we are open. So from 7 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, you can come and watch what goes on in the transfer station. We're hopeful by doing so, there's a lot more transparency, so you'll see for yourself what happens to your refrigerators and your freezers, and what happens with tires, what happens with the metal that we're able to salvage, also what happens to the recycle that we take care of. So this facility was designed to maximize the throughput of those things. Again, I thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for my board and for the member cities. It's an honor to have the mayors here with us, and also our county commissioner and my dear friend, Commissioner Gordon, I should say. So thank you. thank you for being here. This is truly an honor. Thank you.
He talked a little bit about the exterior stuff. I want to talk a little bit about the things you're going to see inside. I think it's better when we walk and talk about it. But we really kind of set out when we went to design, thinking of safety and efficiency. If you've been at the existing facility, everybody's kind of together, right? All the hauling trucks, all the public, everybody comes in the same and comes out the same location. This new facility has 4 entrances, complete separation from the public to the commercial collection trucks to the hauling trucks that are in the back. You won't even see those. We thought about ways to keep you safe inside. So the public has their own entrance, right? So the public stays on their own scales, and then they come in their own side, and they stay away from the commercial. Fires are a huge issue with waste, and so this facility has a very high-tech fire suppression system where operators can actually shoot cannons at the fires and put them out long before the Spanish Fork Fire Department gets released. This new facility is designed to about 3,000 tons per day. Right now, like Reed said, I mean, it's 400 tons per day, so massive improvement. Existing facility is 13,000 square feet. This one's 109,000 square feet. So almost 1.5 times bigger than anything else in this state. So it's very state-of-the-art. There's things that you'll see when you walk through that actually aren't used anywhere else in the United States, including the side load compactors, which they've been using for 30 years, so we decided not to change that. So really exciting. Love to talk with you guys as we walk around and tell you about all the features. Want to thank the Hughes team. They did an amazing job, and all their subs, because there's a lot of hours put into this. And then also our design team. We spent a long time thinking about all the features that needed to be included in this. And I think we really didn't forget anything that we wanted has been included. So I appreciate it. And thank you, Terry. And I hope you guys will come walk around so we can talk about all these cool features that are here. And then come and visit, right? Because we have an education room, which gives a really cool view of the transfer station. So thank you.
I do need a card so I don't forget anybody, but I'm going to talk about a couple of things here. I'm going to talk about gratitude, Disney World, and heritage and tradition. So let's talk about the gratitude. First and foremost, with the deepest amount of gratitude, we really appreciate the board, the transfer station, Dry Creek, SUVSWD, Nexa. Did I cover it all? Terry, thank you. You've been a real pleasure to work with. Reed, oh, it's been a real pleasure to work with you. The car show is Reed's idea, by the way. We're just very grateful to be here. Now I'm going to talk about some of the most pivotal people that we've had here. First and foremost, that young, strapping young man right there and his lovely wife was the superintendent on this project. His name is Jarrett Fulmer. Can we get him a round of applause? So, Trevin, this is Trevin's orchestra. Or excuse me, not Trevin. Sorry. I'll get to you, Trevin. This is Jarrett's orchestra, so I have to apologize, Jarrett. Jarrett, at one time at this job, had over 100 people out here he was pulling the strings with at each time, and they were all running at peak performance. That is amazing. Here's the other amazing part about Jarrett. We had over 180,000 man-hours in this project. Not one injury, not one lost time accident. And that's because of that guy. This project could not have been built without the amazing subcontractors that we've had on this job. They have been the best team I could have ever asked to work with. And I'm going to name as many as I can, but not take too much time. I'm not going to forget anybody, hopefully. And if I do, I deeply apologize for that. First and foremost, I want to talk about Al Ramirez with Surge Electric. That guy, he can move mountains, and we are so grateful for the Surge team and Al Ramirez. Moving on down, all of this concrete that was poured here, there were two people that pretty much touched all of it, and it was Jody Lockhart and George Sanchez with Neff and Jensen Construction. We are just so grateful for those guys. They did an amazing job. We really appreciate them. Moving on down the list, we've got a couple of guys that are here. I see Clay with Staker Parson. This asphalt looks amazing, Clay. These guys got it in right before the snow flied. No joke, we were putting the last bit of asphalt over there as the first snowflakes came in last year. We have Chris Wayman and Trevin. These gentlemen put all the pipes together on this job. Chris and his team, we are so grateful. And your dragster and your Nova, they're so amazing. Thank you for coming out. I want to talk about Mountain Crane. They've lifted nearly everything on this project. They brought their 330-ton Liebherr over here and lifted over 200,000-pound panels and put them in place. And then I really, really want to thank the drywall and paint teams, Brinkerhoff Drywall with Mark. He did an amazing job and did it in no time. Pullum Brothers, they did an amazing job. We really appreciate their painting. And then last but not least, I want to talk about Don Jensen and Ernie Thornton with Sunrock. These guys moved over 150,000 tons of material onto this site where we stand today. So I talked about Disneyland, right? Or not Disneyland, Disney World. Why did I say Disney World? Well, this is Terry's Disney World. This has been Terry's in Terry's mind for over a decade to bring this to fruition. And just like Disney World rose through the marshes and swamps of Orlando, we rose through the marshes and swamps of Western Spanish Fork. Well, what do I mean by that? Where everyone sits today, where all the cars and trucks are at, we had a 3-acre lake that was 6 feet deep at the farthest point, by the porta potties on this site. And the Sunrock team moved it away and brought in all of that material. And we have a building here. 1 year today, actually. It was quite the water year last year. So we really appreciate Ernie and Don and all of their hard work to even get us out of the ground. So the last thing I want to talk about is heritage and tradition. So I was fortunate enough to go through some of the archives of our previous projects, and I found the pictures of the original transfer station just up the road. It was completed in 1991. The gentleman that completed that project, his name is Bob Barker. Bob Barker just finished his 46th year with Hughes General Contractors this year, and he's retiring this year. And we're so grateful for Bob. He has been such an inspiration to all of us. He has mentored all of us. He was a great man. And so as we've been fortunate to be a 65-year-old company that builds those who support the community, such as schools, transfer stations, essential services. We build a lot for essential services, the people who support people. And Bob was integral to it. So we're deeply grateful for Bob. We're deeply grateful to work with some of the greatest people in any industry. Our people are the best, especially Jarrett. And we're deeply grateful for the board, Forsgren Group, Brian and Nick. Thank you. Brian, you're my favorite Brian on this job. Thank you all again. Thank you, community. And thank you again. Have a great day.
It's an honor for me to be here. And if I went back 10 years ago as a young city councilman, I knew it all, right? Because I'd just been elected and I knew everything. And my very first phone call with Terry was me thinking I was a big shot. And I said, Terry, I think we need to privatize what you do. And I knew everything. I'd just been elected, right? So I'm a really smart guy. But Terry, with such tact, he didn't get upset. He just said, why don't you come down here and let me show you what we do? And so I'd highlight that as just his leadership. Terry, though he's not real large in stature. He surrounds himself with great people like Mark and Michelle and just all of those that put in so much effort in the day-to-day from here. He used to operate Bayview, and I highlight that because one of the things that I was proud of when I was on the board was we joined up with a group here in Utah called New Era, and it's the other transfer stations. We sold a portion of our landfill, and that, along with selling the land that where the old transfer station is, that gives you quite a shot in the arm for a project. And thinking outside the box like Terry has done in this project and with Nick and is just something I hadn't experienced. And so I quickly learned I didn't know everything as a young elected official. One of the things that I also experienced about 10 years ago was Mayor Mendenhall was a young elected official. He was just a councilman at the time. And ever since I became county commissioner, I thought I was kind of a big deal again. But the only question I keep getting asked is, when am I going to run for mayor? And I don't know. I guess maybe someday I'll try to. But as a young city councilman, he says one day, the Spanish Fork Dons and the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles had played each other in the state championship for baseball. And the Dons were victorious, and so in true fashion, they're to go down Main Street on the big fire engine, right? Well, young Mayor Mendenhall, councilman at the time, said, well, maybe Maple Mountain wants to go on the little fire truck behind the big one. And we all looked at him and said, you idiot, why don't you go ask them if they want to ride on the small one, right? And so, Terry, thanks for letting me embarrass you a little bit there, Mayor. But Terry, you have built a facility that's worthy enough to go down Main Street of Spanish Fork on a fire truck. I commend you and all your staff and everyone here. I was lucky enough to be a part of it for the years and have all the faith in Reed and the remaining board and everybody that's participated. So thanks everyone for coming out and everybody that made this such a great project.
Shouldn't have given me the last word, Brandon Gordon. Hey, thank you all for being here today. Sometimes, a couple of times a week, I'm lucky enough to be the bus driver. Not really a bus driver. It's just in my truck and pick up 12-year-old neighborhood girls, about 4 or 5 of them that call themselves the carpool girls. And so this morning, while taking Monroe and Vivi and Charlotte and Liza, it's usually they go to Mapleton Junior High, or excuse me, what's the Maple Creek, I think, middle school. It's a middle school. I think my daughter's in middle school. I had to get reminded where she goes to school the first time I took them. But as we're heading into Mapleton, from our house on the east side of Spanish Fork, going to Mapleton, the rule is, okay, you guys get to pick the music the whole time until we cross the tracks into Mapleton, and then you're gonna get to hear what's going on. I'm gonna ask you some questions. We're gonna talk about school and everything else. And so they're always really angry when I pull the plug on the phone and the music stops, right? And so today I said, "What's going on at school today?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. We're just we want to get out of school is what we want to do." And then they always say, "What's going on today? What's going on in Spanish Fork?" And today I said, "It is a great day in Spanish Fork. We are going to cut a ribbon on the new transfer station." And they said, "What's the new transfer station?" I said, "Where do you think all your garbage goes, girls?" And one girl says, "I think in the ocean." And I said, "Nope, it's not in the ocean. It doesn't just float up in the air. Where your garbage goes is to a collection facility, and then it's transferred way out west to a landfill." And I promised them, I promised all of them, I said, "Hey, there's a lunch before you're out of school. There's going to be a lunch where you're all going to come with the bus driver, Mike, and we're going to go up to the viewing station, and we're going to educate some 12-year-old girls on where their waste goes and how it gets transferred." I can't tell you more than this to wrap up, but this is what leadership looks like. Okay, from everybody that was just spoken of, from the construction crew, from the people that had this idea so many years ago and built what you're looking at today, that is what local leadership looks like. From Mayor Kaufusi in Provo, from Mayor Christensen in Salem, Mayor Packard in Springville, and Mayor Hakes in Mapleton, Woodland Hills, and Goshen as well. I'm telling you, when local government gets together and figures out the tough problems that we deal with as communities, that's what success is. And politics is sometimes that, the bad word that we always think, man, I wish we could not have politics or politicians, but this is what local solutions looks like. And so, again, like Councilman Gordon mentioned, just off Spanish Forks Main Street, this facility is in the heart of our Verk Industrial Park in Spanish Fork. And what we said a couple of weeks ago when we got to tour this and then go to our council meeting in Spanish Fork was that you're going to see buildings that have beginnings of the economic life of some widget. Something's going to be made all surrounding this building here, and it's going to end its economic life here, right? Right? So it's kind of quite a thing to think about, that whatever's made over here is going to be sold to the public. It might go clear around the world. It might come back. It might stay local. But it'll end its economic life here and then be transferred in a responsible way out west. And so, again, from Spanish Fork, from the home of Pride and Progress, something like that certainly screams Pride and Progress, that you can have a facility where in actuality, like Terry told us a few weeks ago, unless you know this place exists, you won't really know driving by. You certainly won't see piles of waste outside this facility. You'll have trucks driving in and driving out, and they'll be clean driving out, which is such a rewarding thing. So again, from Spanish Fork, thank you. Yes, we completely accept this facility, and let's cut a ribbon.
Thank you. How many here have been to the old facility? Just raise your hand if you've been to the old facility. Looks like most of you have been there. I want to put a motion towards you and see if we want to have a vote on it. I'm going to make a motion that we close the old facility down immediately and we move to this new facility and destroy the old one and repurpose it. Is there a second? I need it from the board, though. Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Everybody's here commissioned to vote. Say aye or raise your hand. Aye. Is there anybody opposed? They can help us clean up. Looks like we can just, okay, that's very good. Where's the Chamber of Commerce? Do they have the, oh, okay, right across here. And Terry's going to do the honors.
Hold on, let's do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.